Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for showing up to the Dave Burgess Consulting Incorporated Facebook Live. It's Thursday night. That means we're here every single week talking to a different educator and providing a little bit of free inspiration, professional development, all that. As you are popping in, please do throw your name over in the comments. Let us know who is here, where you're watching from. We would love to see who's here watching with us. And everybody whose name goes over there into the comments is entered to win a free book tonight. And that book, well, you can see it on the screen. And that kind of is the clue as to who our special guest is. And we have a special guest tonight, and it is Tamara Letter. Tamara, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing great. I'm so happy to be here with you tonight, Dave.
Fantastic. And so, for those of you who do not know Tamara, she is the author of this book right here, A Passion for Kindness. Tamara, I think, was it a Valentine's Day release? Was that the actual day, right?
It was. It actually got released on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2019. So it's been out for a while, but wow, Valentine's Day, what a perfect day for a publication date.
2019, is that, you mean BC, before COVID?
BC, before COVID. Yes,
Yeah.
Incredible, right?
2019 BC. Okay, awesome, fantastic. And Tamara, for those of you who don't know where you're from and all that, let us know where you're from and what you do right now in education.
Absolutely. So I am from Mechanicsville, Virginia, which is kind of in central Virginia. My day job is an instructional technologist, where I help teachers as an instructional coach and integrating technology in the classroom. I serve 2 elementary schools in my district, and I also help my district with professional development and some other district things. And I'm passionate about kindness.
Fantastic. I want to say hello to Esther. Thank you for popping in. And Kristen is here with us too. Kristen, you know that I'm going to get on you about this. Comment number 2, not number 1, comment number 2, but that's okay. We are officially international because our good friend Karen from Australia
Yay!
has popped in as well. Good to see you, Karen. And we know that you're passionate about kindness. I love to read your blogs on kindness. Of course, enjoyed your writing so much on kindness and all of your work and project that we signed you to do this fantastic book on it. And it's been fun to see this movement kind of spread and other people pick up on it and try some of these ideas in their schools and districts. And it's got to be very fulfilling for you to see some of your work get spread further and wider.
It's always exciting when you see kindness spreading, right? And even when you can have conversations with different people about kindness. Like Karen, she was just mentioning in the chat about how her school is closed due to the weather event. And like immediately, I'm like, oh no, is it the rain? I saw some pictures on social media about the rains and the flooding out there in Australia. And, kindness does that. Kindness connects us, and kindness helps us to open ourselves up to other people and want to learn about them. And so with the book coming out and people reading it and sharing conversations, it's been great to see the techniques and the things being implemented in the classrooms and the various school districts. But it's also just been incredible to connect with so many kindness cultivators out there, because there's lots of people out there doing amazing things in their own little worlds. And that's probably my favorite part about this whole journey.
Yeah, for sure. And I talked to Karen the other day about the rain and the floods and all that. It's quite a serious thing that's happening over there, and probably not getting the all the news attention. So much of the news attention right now is focused, of course, on Ukraine and Russia and all that. And so I think it's kind of slipped under a lot of people's radar around the world. But so sending our best to people in Australia who are affected by that. And I see Yesenia has popped in. Hello. And Sean giving some good-natured ribbing to Kristen for the lack of the number 1 comment. And there's so much Kristen, I feel like we've put so much pressure on you. Your standards are so high. You've set the bar so high that now there's like this pressure that exists every Thursday night for you to pop in there right away. And I know this can be tough. Pressure can be a tough thing, but I know that you're up for it. Oh no. So Karen saying more rain expected. Yeah, so we don't want to see that. Hopefully we're going to catch a break on that rain for sure. Yeah. Okay. So Kristen, I'm always here first or not. All right. This is true. And this is what matters the most, we love that you are here and so loyal to the Facebook Lives on Thursday. So thank you very much, Kristen, for that. And so, Tamara,
Yes.
is first of all, I might point out that Virginia seems to be kind of taking over our Facebook Lives because we had Jonathan Alsheimer on last week, so we have 2 in a row from Virginia, and Virginia is for lovers, and so we're showing the love to Virginia, I guess, with the Facebook Lives lately.
That is true.
And
And for those that don't know, that's our state motto. So that is not something that's a chapter in the book about Virginia being for lovers. That is just truly our state motto.
yeah, well, I mean, in my book, I have I have the #1 top secret way to become a better lover. So you never know. You never know what could slide in there. So, all right, that's in the immersion chapter. For those of you that are wondering, that's in the immersion chapter. Go check it out. The #1 top secret way to become a better lover and teach like a pirate. Just saying. Okay. All right. So enough of this. Tamara, what would you like to share with us and offer for us tonight? Give us a little bit of inspiration, lift us up.
Well, I'm thinking about the different things that we're doing in our school. Again, I had mentioned before, I work in elementary school, and last month we just finished our kindness passion projects. And this time of year, I just get so excited to see the hard work the students have been doing kind of coming all together for them to present their projects to one another and to the world. And for those that are not familiar with kindness passion projects, that is a little project that I started with another classroom teacher, Lori Cross, and her fourth grade class years ago. And we do kindness lessons every month, and we just try to stretch the children in their thinking about kindness and their understanding of different terminology, like what is kindness, and is kindness easy, is it hard, and all of these topics and things to grapple with, just getting their brains thinking about it. And as the year progresses and we continue with these lessons, we surprise them by telling them that they're going to become kindness cultivators. And we actually give them money. We give them $10 each and tell them to go change the world. They can do whatever they want. And so the kids create their own kindness passion project. They research how much things cost, and that's very eye-opening for them, because when you hand a 9 and a 10-year-old $10, they really think they can do a lot. And then suddenly they realize, wow, $10 doesn't really mean that much these days. But they design these incredible, thoughtful, generous kindness projects. And then with the support of their families or the support of teachers in our building, they actually put them into action. And so they get an opportunity to take that money and use it. Some of the kids, they will use the money to buy supplies so they can do things. So, for example, one student wanted to paint a picture on canvas and donate it to a children's hospital. And so she used her money to buy the canvas and the paints and the paintbrushes that she needed. And another student wanted to tip the barista at Starbucks. They've just got so many cute different projects that they do. And once they do these projects with their family support or at school, then they have to actually communicate what they did with the world, because we tell them part of being a kindness cultivator is having the courage to share your ideas with other people, because you're this tiny little seed that can just bloom and scatter in so many different ways. And you'll never know the impact, the true impact of your kindness, until you actually do an act of kindness and then are willing to maybe share a little bit about it. So the kids will create these Google slide presentations. It's almost like a science fair in a way, because they have to identify like their purpose and their procedures and their materials and things. But the most powerful part of their project is when they get to the results and the reflection, because that's when they really just take a pause and they think and they remember, wow, what was it like when I did this? And many of their reflections, surprised themselves, because they said, wow, I didn't realize I was going to be really nervous, or I was excited but kind of scared. And it's a great open door to talk about these emotions that people have when they're doing kind acts for others, because it's not always easy. And it's not always, just this, oh, throw it up in the air, confetti, fun stuff. It's sometimes it's hard and sometimes it is challenging. But it's worth it. It's so worth it every time. And the kids that reflect on their projects, they say, I would absolutely do this again. I hope somebody else will do this too. And it's just so exciting. So we culminate all of that when their projects are done, and we have a kindness share fair where they have an opportunity to share their projects with the world. And so we post it on social media, and with COVID, we can't invite visitors into the classroom like we used to. We used to just open our doors to the whole world and let all the stakeholders come in. But we found ways digitally to be able to share their projects in Google Slides. And then, like I said, we post it out on social media. And the response every year is just absolutely phenomenal, because it puts the kids in the spotlight with the kind things they're doing for others to make the world a better place.
That's fantastic. I love that. A kindness share fair. Is that what it was? You said it was called?
Yes, a kindness share fair, because they're
Kindness
sharing
share
about
fair.
their kindness.
That is fantastic. I love it. Karen popping in, wonderful program. Yeah, absolutely. And same with you, saying, loving that idea. Yeah, share fair. I love it. Kindness. And so I love the idea that the reflection afterwards is one of the most powerful parts. And it kind of goes to we were talking a little bit about this similar kind of thing last week with Jonathan, of showing kids that they have agency in the world, and that they can make a difference with their actions, and even at their young age, they can still make a difference in the world. And so providing kids with that opportunity to show agency is so important.
Absolutely. We even have one student who, throughout the year, as we've been doing these kindness passion projects, I have my little office in an innovation lab, like a little STEM lab, or an area where you can do different projects and things with your students. And this student started coming into the lab and asked if I had any little trash bags or grocery bags, because she just wanted to clean up trash on the playground. And now she comes every single day and stops by just to get her little trash bags to go. And, she started off real quietly, but other kids in the classroom started to notice she was doing it. And so then they were like, well, can we do this too? And she was like, sure. So now she's got like this little group of environmentalists in the making who are going out and trying to make sure the playground stays clean. And there's some days where they go out and they can't find much to pick up, because, it hasn't really gotten dirty since the day before. And they're almost like, oh, there's nothing to pick up. Well, where else should we go? We need to do other places. And it's just so exciting to see students taking this concept of making the world a better place and just running with it, and integrating their passions with that too.
Yeah, that's great. I see David here brings up a great point. And that's a lot of times, I call them life-changing lessons, LCLs, where maybe we have our content, which is one thing, but we're wrapping life-changing lessons into it that are kind of around the periphery of what the actual content is, right? So your content is, you're teaching about kindness. However, in the process of giving them this money and having them go out and see how they're going to spend this money, they're also getting to say, oh man, learning what things cost, and getting that kind of a little bit of financial literacy too, that's kind of wrapped into it. So I think that's a powerful aspect of it as well. I like that. Now, Yesenia here is thinking about how she does this with 4-year-olds. Now, that brings up a great question I have is, in my mind, this book is pre-K through 12 and beyond. And I think that you feel the same. And I know that even like some of the inside, there's kindness cultivators from different age ranges. Like I'm thinking about, I think Lori McIntosh, kindergarten teacher, isn't she? And so this can be done even at a very young age, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Kindness is any age at all. If a child is old enough to go outside and pick a flower, they are old enough to show kindness to someone. If they're old enough to give a hug to someone, they're old enough to show kindness. And having those conversations with children early is actually so powerful, because it's a natural part of helping them learn and grow and decipher the world around them, right? So when you're with those young children and you see kindness in action, or you decide to do something kind, make a point to point it out to the children. Oh, did you see how, this person waved to us? Wasn't that so kind? And wow, maybe we should go to the Dollar Tree. What's something kind we could do as we're heading out to the playground? Maybe we should like pick up a few balls and just leave them at the playground? Wouldn't that be kind and fun for someone else to discover? And so it's just weaving these little moments into their daily lives. And then as they get older and they start to see it, they can take a more deliberate agency over their kind acts.
Yeah, I think the other thing I'm thinking about, I'm always trying to convince, like, say, middle school and high school teachers that it's okay to have fun. And, there's a certain point often where teachers all of a sudden think school has to be really super serious. And I think that's a mistake. So I'm basically traveling around the nation trying to get people to teach more like a kindergarten teacher and embrace that movement and fun and music and hands-on activities and all this kind of stuff like this. And I think the same thing is true of kindness. Is sometimes when we think of these projects, we think about like, oh, this will be great with, maybe our early primary, which is where we do want to start it, right? But let's also make sure that I mean, man, the high school students, could they really benefit from stuff like this as well? So I love the idea of extending this out all the way through the entire grade range and being something that you build upon.
Well, and it's a great case in point because inside of the book, at the end of every chapter, we spotlight a kindness cultivator. And that's a chance for another person in the world to just share a little glimpse of their own little passion projects or the things they like to do. And one of the kindness cultivators that we showcase is Kelly Pace, who is a high school English teacher. And what she does in her classroom is she has this idea of being 1% better. So if you could be 1% better than the day before, what would that look like? What would you do? How could you put that into action? And since the book has come out, she has actually had a kindness challenge with her juniors and seniors where she charges them with, hey, it's your job to make this world a better place. Get with a team of people in the class and create this kindness project. And they actually have like a little kindness competition where they have to plan out a kind act to do. And it doesn't necessarily have to cost money. It can be something that is free, but they have to collaborate with their classmates. They have to come up with this idea, a way to make their school better, their world better. How are they going to do it? Put their plan into action. And then they have to document it somehow and present it in some way that would convince other people that this is the most spectacular act of kindness. And so it's been phenomenal to see the kids' projects. And then they go into like a bracket, right? So you have like 4 and 4, and then 2 and 2, and then 1 and 1. And then you have to figure out who is the kindness champ, And the kids that win, the team that wins, that gets the first place in this kindness challenge, they get like a plaque, like they get their little team name and their names on a plaque that's in the classroom, like they get bragging rights, for being kind. And it's such an interesting concept because what comes from that is the collaboration, the communication about kindness, the thoughtfulness, and matching our kind acts to the purpose. If we want to, like one of them, they wanted to do something nice for their principal. Well, they had to learn about their principal, right? They had to discover what is it that our principal likes. What's his favorite basketball team? What colors does he like? What's his favorite food? Like they had to dive deeper, and then they had to make their acts of kindness match that. And so the carefulness that they put into their projects and the passion and the thoughtfulness. I mean, high school, middle school, elementary school, college level. There really is no limit to kindness for any age.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. Yeah. When I wrote the blog post about your book coming out, I remember saying like, think about this for a second. This is something that is that's going to make other people feel better. It's going to make you feel better too, which is of course one of those, like hidden benefits of kindness. This is not just about the other person. It's going to make you feel better too, right? And quite often it can be offered and done for free. Like, why wouldn't we be doing more of this? Why wouldn't we be doing this all the time? Wait, they feel better, I feel better, and it's basically kind of free. Like, this should be just a way of living. And so I love that you do so much to spread this movement throughout education.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes because we get caught up in our own bubble of life, right? And sometimes it's hard. It really is hard to step outside of our own challenges and the heaviness. Like the world is heavy. We have to, you can be the most positive Pollyanna, which I even reference in my book. You can be the most positive person, but life is heavy and life is challenging at times. And those are the times, paradoxically, when I think the impact of kindness lifts you the highest, because you just have to just nudge yourself a little bit, if I'm having a really tough day, I have to nudge myself a little bit more to be deliberate about kindness with other people. But I find that when I am kind to someone else, it's almost always reciprocated. And then it does lift you up. I mean, your bodies are made for kindness. You have all of those great feel good chemicals, the serotonin, and all of those great things popping through your brain when you see an act of kindness, or you do an act of kindness, or you receive an act of kindness. And so, yeah, it seems like if we just make the intentionality sometimes a little bit more deliberate, it's amazing how it can completely transform your day.
Absolutely, 100%. And I'm just trying to pull up the exact wording on this thing. Okay, so uh, it could be the smallest gesture too. It's amazing that people think about these. Yeah, it does not need to be a grand gesture whatsoever. And a perfect example of this is I was watching the Super Bowl. I tweeted this out, put it on all the different social media. I was watching the Super Bowl. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't having a very great day, and was just alone at my house watching the Super Bowl. Didn't go to a Super Bowl party, anything like that, and ordered in food from a Uber Eats location. Indian food, by the way, chicken tikka masala with garlic naan. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Okay, so anyway, and then the food is delivered to my front porch. The doorbell rings, and I pick it up. And there on the food, it has a Post-it note that just says, "You're wonderful, just the way you are," with a little smiley face. "Love, your Uber Eats delivery driver," and the name. And I don't know why, but it was just like, wow, that made my whole night. It's like this little Post-it note saying, like, with this message that just hit right perfectly at the right time. And so the smallest act of kindness can have a huge impact on someone's life.
Absolutely. I mean, just Post-it notes. Like we all know how to get them. Like, get Post-it notes. That's probably, I have to say, that's probably one of my favorite things to do. I'm just going to be honest, because I carry around Post-it notes. Like, people think I'm crazy. I have them in my car. I have them in my backpack. I have them in my purse. I have them everywhere. And it is amazing how just, one quick note, "You were awesome today." Or, I mean, even for people you don't know, stick them on somebody's windshield as you're leaving, wherever you work. Or, hide them in a book somewhere. Go to the grocery store and slap them on a box of cake mix. I mean, whatever you need, but just leaving a little note. It's so fascinating to me when I hear back from people that have either read the book or follow my website blog, or even like find a Post-it note. Sometimes I'll add, like my little hashtag passion for kindness on there, and people will search out and they will actually talk about, like what you just said, what an impact. Like, you had no idea. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. This one little note hit me at just the right time. And I think that's the beauty of kindness, because there are things out there we just can't explain. And timing is one of those things. What's perfect timing for you? What's perfect timing for me? I call it the whisper on my heart, because I don't know any other better way to describe it. But it's like that little nudge, that little whisper on your heart that says, "Hey, go do this. Go write that little Post note. It feels weird, but just do it anyway." And if you follow through and you do it, you may never know the impact of it. But look at this. You've got a note from a delivery driver. You might take that note and put it on your mirror to remind yourself every single day that you matter, that you're valued, that you're accepted. Like, those are life lessons that we all need to be reminded of, especially when times are so heavy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, and so, hey, by the way, all the way from New Jersey, Jay Billy, thanks for popping in.
Jay's
Good,
here. Hi,
good to
Jay.
see you.
I
Yeah.
need to get some ice cream. I feel like I should be eating ice cream in honor of you, Jay.
I've recently talked to a couple. I'm a huge ice cream person, as you probably know, but I've recently talked to some people from these climates where they say that, like, "Oh yeah, it's wintertime. The ice cream shops have closed down." I'm like, what? This makes no sense to me. Like, ice cream shops closed down? Like, what in the world? Ice cream is a 365-day type of food. I don't understand how ice cream shops can close down during parts of the year. Like, how
Dave,
it could
Dave.
never be cold enough where I wouldn't want ice cream.
Oh, Dave, who lives in San Diego, where it's always warm. Bless your heart. Bless your heart for thinking that stays open. Well, we have Brewster's in Virginia, and Brewster's will stay open, but it's outside. It's not an indoor shop. So if you're eating ice cream at 32 degrees outside,
It just means that it's not going to melt. You can
it's
take as long as you need
cold.
to eat it.
Gosh, you're gonna be frozen trying to eat it. But we have like a snow shack, which is like, the ice shaved with the fancy syrup put on it. Yeah, that closes in the winter. Snow shack is not always open.
This just
But
makes no sense to me. That should be illegal. Ice
it's
cream
'cause
shops
it's
closing should be
cold.
illegal.
Nobody wants to eat cold ice cream while you're sitting in the cold in a parka. Like, no.
Yeah. So Jay's getting hungry.
It's a date. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Jay. Awesome. Listen, I will come back up. I will come back. New Jersey is where you're at. But last time I think I ate ice cream with you was in Pennsylvania, I believe. So
You're on ice cream on the coldest days. I'm with you 100%.
Okay.
We're gonna go get it. So
okay, so you know what? Y'all are challenging me. What I'm gonna do, it's getting a little warmer this weekend. I live in Virginia, so we have, different temperatures in March. I'm gonna wait. This is what I'm gonna do for you people. I'm gonna wait until it's a really cold day. And I'm gonna go to Brewster's. I'm gonna eat the ice cream outside. I'm gonna take a picture of myself and post it on social media. So you guys will know that I'm gonna like embody change and eat ice cream out in the cold just for you.
And it's gonna be delicious.
It is. I already
Let me
have
just
my
tell you.
mindset. And then I'll bring some Post-it notes and I'll slap them on the little ice cream parlor. Yeah.
Yes. I see. And Karen was just assuming that I would order barbecue, which is a very good bet, by the way. That is an extremely good bet. However, I am also, if I can get my Indian food, my chicken tikka masala and naan, I'm going to go for that too. So that's another high up on the rankings with barbecue food is Indian food for me too. So.
Oh, too funny. I was looking in the comments. I saw that that Karen said that we've gone through a few Post-it notes since our read aloud with you. That's so exciting, Karen. I had challenged her kiddos to leave Post-it notes in their school, so that was very exciting. I love hearing back on how the kids are scattering kindness. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, listen, if you have not read A Passion for Kindness by Tamara, it is fantastic. We hope that you will pop on over to Amazon or wherever you like to buy books and grab a copy. For all of you who have participated by throwing your name over in the comments, you could possibly win a copy of A Passion for Kindness. And if you go buy one and you win, it's okay, because what more kind thing could you do than to share it with somebody and like read it with a colleague? And so don't worry about that. Tamara, before we popped on here, we were talking about kind of lamenting the fact that conferences have been not a thing for so long, and like the cancellation of DBC Pirate Con and all these different things, chances where we could all get together. And I'm hoping that 2022 we can turn that around a little bit, and I'll get a chance to see you somewhere face to face, along with some of these people that are in the comments over here. Karen, we still got to drag you all the way from Australia over here at some point for a conference, so we can all meet up. And sad to say it won't be Pirate Con, but maybe it'll be somewhere else. And we want to thank all of you who have joined us tonight. And we always appreciate you coming in and popping in on a Thursday. We'll be back next Thursday at 4:30. My guess is that Tara will be back hosting next week. Tara was she actually was attending a conference today to go see DBC Inc. Books rock star Matt Miller keynote in Kansas. And so if you look at Tara's feed, you'll see some tweets from Matt's keynote. So that's where she is tonight. But we're super honored that you joined us to spend a little bit of your Thursday night with us. And so thank you so much. We will see you next week.
Bye, everyone.